Okay, we'll stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board to order for August 18, 2014. Roll call, please.
Bernie Bassett.
Here.
Martin Manick.
Here.
Michael Cash.
Here.
Laura Bernadette.
Here.
James Coffey.
Here.
Rick Coffey.
Resolution number 266, approving the minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of July 28th and August 4th, 2014 be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renedek, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion? Roll call.
Martin Manick.
Yes.
Michael Cash.
Yes.
Laura Bernadette.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution carries. Next on my agenda, we have a couple of things this evening. We have some young folks with us for some special commendation. Without further ado, we'll ask Aaron Pingborn to come forward and lead the way. I see some family members with cameras will make a real effort to have your favorite star slow down up front so you can get a photo before they sit down.
Good evening. My name is Erin Pangborn, and I am the Recreation Program Coordinator for the town. We have recently finished our summer baseball softball program and would like to recognize several participants for their outstanding commitment and sportsmanship throughout the season. Overall, our whole summer season was a huge success, but we would like to acknowledge those players who have been positive role models for their fellow teammates and opponents. Our Most Dedicated Player Award goes to individuals who demonstrate these qualities as well as go beyond what we ask of them. The following players lead by example on and off the field, and that is why the Recreation Department feels these participants are highly deserving of the Most Dedicated Award. We hope that this will reinforce positive behavior for all participants in the future. All of these players' coaches had nothing but positive comments to say about these players. We are very proud that these kids are a part of our program. When I call your name, I'll have you come up and receive your award, and we'll have you turn around and look at Ricky over there, and your parents can take a picture if they would like. So first off, from our Cumberland Head Grasshopper softball team, Sophie Miller.
She's so cute.
From our Cumberland Head Pee Wee softball team, from one of our Cumberland Head Pee Wee softball teams, Madison Stratt. From our other Cumberland Head Pee Wee softball team, Carolyn Seymour. From our Katyville Grasshopper softball team, we had two players that were equally deserving of our Most Dedicated Award. So first off, Olivia Squire. And also from our Katyville Grasshopper softball team, Reagan Mulverhill. And unable to attend tonight from our Cadyville Pony Baseball team, Eric DeLutis. He's actually at a soccer practice right now, but congratulations to him. From our East Morrisonville Grasshopper Baseball team, Sebastian Dandro Pellerin. And lastly, from our East Morrisonville Pee Wee Baseball team, Justin Bedard. I also would like to thank all of our parents of our recipients tonight for dedicating your time this summer. Our programs continue to be a success because of participants and parents like you. Thank you for your continuous support.
Thank you, Erin. We often seem to make mention of our recreation programs for residents of all ages. We just are very proud of what the department's done and appreciate your time and effort with these youngsters. Some of the parents I know have been here prior. I still have to say it. There's some really key things, and one is, of course, our coaches. We just, I don't even know, do you know offhand how many coaches we have and all the different programs who volunteer?
I know for soccer we have 23 teams and probably 19 professionals.
For just soccer. And it's outstanding. I mean, we could not do the programs without the coaches. And I bet we have some coaches here. Who's a coach? This is for one of the others here. You're here with your players. That's great. We really appreciate that. There's just no other way. And for the parents. Been there with the kids, and if you've got more than one involved, you're running multiple directions, carpooling, trying to cover all the bases. But what you're doing for these young people is just phenomenal. What you're modeling for them, you've got to believe that one day history will repeat itself with your grandchildren, because you showed them what was more important than eating a normal meal together at a normal pace at night, because you had to get out there and play and practice. It really is a commitment. But we appreciate all that you do as well, so thank you very much. And it really warms the heart to see so many parents come out for half a dozen youngsters. Parents, friends, neighbors, aunts, uncles. It really is important. It's not just important to the body and the mind, but what you're doing for their development. So thank you. Keep up the good work. I failed to mention, I think at the very beginning, some of you I'm sure know, this will be on hometown cable. You'll get a chance to DVR it, record it, send it to someone who couldn't make it tonight. So look for that as well. I don't know if anyone else has anything to say before we move along. We do appreciate it, and it is a quality part of a program. I see a couple waving hands back there.
Bernie, it'll also be on YouTube.
And it will be on YouTube.
There you go.
Compliments of Mrs. Blake.
And the town.
And the town, yes.
Yeah, the town YouTube.
The YouTube as well. With that said, I've got one more special item, and I'm not sure, is David Rabideau here this evening? Mr. Rabideau, Fireman Rabideau. I didn't think so. We have something kind of special for him because he was caught doing an outstanding job professionally, and his role maybe saved the home and others from burning. So I'm going to refrain from doing that proclamation this evening until we can get him here. So with that said, we know you need to get to Harrigan's. You have a couple other things to do. So if you'd like to stay, you're welcome. Otherwise, we're going to take a short break and let those of you who need to leave do so. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
I don't know if you want to contact her, but I just thought she and her husband, I don't know what she's doing. You have one line.
Marty, is that something that you can follow up and see if we can get the next one?
So, I don't know if you're interested in doing another story.
I'd like to do it
So
when
you put it on the
it's a
burner.
regular meeting.
this year. I just did, but
So
Lori
we'll
just got
just
back
sit on
this
the
morning.
proclamation. That'll give us a chance to get Tom's signature as well. No,
The next one would be the 1st of September. That's Labor Day.
so we're going to be on the 2nd.
We're gonna meet on the
We'll
2nd.
meet Tuesday the 2nd.
Well, that might work, because I think they have a meeting on Mondays. Well, I don't know what this is.
Every Monday night we have a work session.
They do. So that's probably what happened. It's, yeah, we didn't know that, but we can certainly do it on Tuesday. Okay, I think we're ready to roll on, to continue on. Resolution 267, abstract 8B.
Resolved that the abstract of audited claims number 8B-14, 1467 to 1565, for $242,646.01, and abstract 8B-14, 292 to 310 prepaid in the amount of $733,576.92. Be received as reviewed by the audit committee, the supervisors hereby authorized to pay it out.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Cashman, second.
Second.
Mr. Renner, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Michael Cashman,
Yes.
Gerard Renner.
Yes.
Bernie Glass.
Yes, the resolution carries. Resolution 268, Codes and Zoning Department Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Stephen M. Howe, Code Enforcement Officer for the month of July 2014.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Manning, second.
Second.
Mr. Renner, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes.
Gerard Renner.
Yes.
Bernie Glass.
Yes, the resolution carries. Resolution 269, Highway Superintendent's Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from James Woods, Superintendent of Highways for the month of July 2014.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Cashman, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Mr. Cashman.
Yes.
Gerard Renner.
Yes.
Bernie Glass.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 270, Parks and Recreation Department Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Melanie Devine, Recreation and Youth Director for the month of June 2014.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Cashman, second.
Second.
Mr. Renner, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes.
Gerard Renner.
Yes.
Bernie Glass.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 271, Planning Department Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Phil Von Martin, Planning and Engineering Department Head for the month of August 2014.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renner, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes.
Gerard Renner.
Yes.
Bernie Glass.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 272, Supervisors Monthly Financial Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a supervisor's financial report for the month of July 2014.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renner, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes.
Gerard Renner.
Yes.
Bernie Glass.
Yes, the resolution carries. Resolution 273, Town Clerk's Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Rick Collins, Town Clerk, for the month of July 2014.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Mannix, second.
So.
Mr. Cashman, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes.
Gerard Renner.
Yes.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 274, Water Wastewater Department's Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Scott Stoddard, Water and Wastewater Director, for the month of July 2014.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renner, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes.
Gerard Renner.
Yes.
Bernie Glass.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 275, accepting the resignation from William Liddon.
Whereas William Glidden, Deputy Town Historian, has submitted a letter of resignation to Donna announcing his intent to retire. And whereas his knowledge and background of military affairs has brought much expertise to the office and to the journals of the town of Plattsburgh district, and the town board, with appreciation for many years of service to the town, accepts his resignation. Now therefore be resolved, the supervisor to send a letter of appreciation on behalf of the town board, thanking Mr. Glidden for his dedication and years of service to the town and his capacity placed on file Mr. Glidden's letter of resignation and retirement. And be further resolved, the copies of this resolution be given to the finance manager, town historian, and the copy be placed in Mr. Glidden's file.
A motion.
Mr. Supervisor, could I
Yes.
ask that the resolution be moved and seconded by all members of the board?
I certainly feel that would be more than appropriate. Everyone okay with that?
Yes.
I would like to just offer some discussion as well and say that this resolution barely scratches the surface as far as what Mr. Glidden has given to the town of Plattsburgh in the short time that he's been serving as deputy town historian. He brought an invaluable amount of information and knowledge to the position, did it without any remuneration, excuse me, for that. We are definitely going to miss him. We're going to miss having him here and serving in that capacity.
I would also add in the resolved, it says to give to the finance manager, the town historian, and placed in Mr. Glidden's file, but not a copy to him. I think that should also go to him as well as the letter. And I would echo Gerard's sentiments. I've had a number of conversations with him, and just the time and energy that he's put into it and the passion in which he speaks about history and the Adirondack coast is very admirable. So.
Duly noted. Anyone else have any other comments? If not, as indicated, we will ask for a roll call.
Martin Bennett,
Yes.
Michael Patterson.
Yes.
Gerard Ripple.
Yes.
Bernie Bell.
Yes, the resolution carries. Resolution 276, contract number 1, Route 3 and Sorrel Avenue Pump Station Periodic Estimate Payment Number 1.
Whereas Resolution 1492-1492, the town of Plattsburgh previously awarded to Stephen Fuller Incorporated the bid to provide work on the Route 3 and Sorrel Avenue Pump Station. Whereas Laverne Engineering Consulting and Scott Stoddard, Director of the Water and Wastewater Department, have reviewed the periodic estimate for payment number 1 as indicated. Therefore be resolved, the supervisor is hereby authorized to make that is a gross amount of $275,587.05 less 5% retainage of $13,779.35, making a total request for $261,807.70 for periodic estimate number 1 dated August the 8th, 2014 to Stephen E. Fuller Excavating Incorporated, 8 Chesterfield Street, Post Office Box 386, Keysville, New York, 12944. And it be further resolved that the payment be made from the 2013 Water and Wastewater Budget Account, Sorrel Avenue, for $115,503.24, and Route 3 for $146,304.46. And that a copy of this resolution be given to the Director of Water and Wastewater Department, Finance Manager, and Stephen E. Fuller Excavating Incorporated.
A motion.
So moved.
Mr. Mannix, second.
Second.
Mr. Cashman, any discussion? Roll call.
Martin Bennett,
Yes.
Michael Patterson,
Yes.
Gerard Ripple.
Yes.
Bernie Bell.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 277, contract number 1, Route 3 and Sorrel Avenue Pump Station Change Order number 1.
Whereas Resolution 14-92 of the town of Plattsburgh previously awarded to Stephen E. Fuller Incorporated a bid to provide work on the Route 3 and Sorrel Avenue pump stations. Whereas Laverne Engineering Consulting Group and Scott Stoddard, Director of the Water and Wastewater Department, have reviewed the proposed change order number 1 as indicated. Therefore be resolved, the supervisor is hereby authorized to accept change order number 1 in a total amount of $4,616.58 for the Sorrel Avenue Pump Station and Route 3 Pump Station dated August 6, 2014 from the 2013 Water and Wastewater Budget Account, Sorrel Avenue, for $3,190. And Route 3 for $1,426.58. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Director of Water and Wastewater Department, Finance Manager, and Stephen E. Fuller Excavating Incorporated.
Motion.
So moved.
Mr. Manning, second.
Second.
Mr. Cashman, any discussion?
Yes, whenever I see the word change order, I get a little antsy, wondering why things had to be changed and why the amount of the project had to be increased. So I sat down with Scott Stoddard this morning and I asked him why these changes were necessary. Basically, 2 out of the 3 were just, they were items that were not able to be determined until construction had started. The service upgrade, that was determined as work progressed and the size of pumps and electrical equipment was installed. The vault size could not have been known until, again, the equipment was completely in place. The only thing that possibly you could wag your finger a little bit at was the concrete being coated, and he said that may or may not have been an engineering failure. So with that, I think that we should get word out to the Verge that that's $1,000 that we'd like to talk to them about. Again, anytime your engineering company drops the ball, taxpayers shouldn't have to pick it up. So I think it's worth talking to them about. And the other things, it's just fault of the job. So I just wanted to say that change orders bother me, so I did some investigating.
Thank you. Anyone else? Roll call.
Martin Manning?
Yes.
Michael Cashman?
Yes.
Carl Rivers?
Yes.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 278, water supply agreement for Macy Lane Water District amendment.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh Consolidated Water District continues to have a surplus of treated water, with probably of size surplus being available for foreseen future, and the town of Plattsburgh Consolidated Water District currently provides treated water and operational services to the town of Schuyler Falls and the Woods Mills, Morrison Mill Water District. Whereas the town of Plattsburgh and Schuyler Falls have cooperated in provisions of water system operation and other water districts within the town of Schuyler Falls. Whereas Resolution 13-90 was passed to provide water supply agreement to Macy Lane Water District, but it was not executed and now needs to be updated due to the change of councilors in both municipalities. Whereas it is in the best interest of the parties to sell treated water to the town of Schuyler Falls, acting for the Macy Water District pursuant to the terms and provisions of the attached agreement. Now therefore be resolved that in the consideration of the mutual conveyance of terms set forth in the attached agreement, the town board is authorized and approve the execution of said agreement, with copies to be given to each municipality and also to the finance manager, water and wastewater director of the town of Plattsburgh.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renedek, second.
Second.
Mr. Cashman, any discussion? Roll call.
Martin Manning?
Yes.
Michael Cass?
Yes.
Jordan Renner?
Yes.
Yes, resolution carries. I've got 3 originals here. I would ask before you leave this evening, a spot for each council to sign. I'd ask you to please make sure and do that. I'll keep that one aside. You're right up front. Resolution 279, the demolition of property at 310 Stafford Road, award to OPEC.
Whereas the town board has received a written unsafe building report from Stephen Langhoff, Code Enforcement Officer, concerning the property at 310 Stafford Road. Whereas a bid was issued for demolition of property at 310 Stafford Road, and work was started, but complaints issued before stop work order. And whereas Steve Langhoff, Code Enforcement Officer, has obtained formal written quotes and have been reviewed for the demolition of said property that complies with all federal and state laws concerning public safety. Therefore, be resolved after full review of the bids and proposals to demolition of the abandoned property, the town awards the project to Optech, 63 Trade Road, Messina, New York, 13662.
Appears they're also in Williston and Vermont.
Yeah.
Williston, Vermont.
This is the updated one.
I'm looking at
There's
the
an updated one.
Okay, which, I was looking for something else, what was reading that, what are we missing?
He needs the updated resolution.
I just
for-
gave it to you.
Okay.
I've got a couple of
Because the
Okay.
first resolved changes.
Resolved that after full review of all quotes to demolish the abandoned property, the town awards the project to Optech of 63 Trade Road, Messina, New York, 13662, for the amount of $26,650 as a total price as noted by the bid. And it be further resolved, the supervisor hereby authorized to sign any and all related documents relative to the award of such contract, subject to the review and approval by the town attorney and the town insurance provider. And further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager and code officer.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renner, second.
Second.
Mr. Cashman, any discussion?
I just have two questions. Can I assume this is a low bidder?
I was looking for, when there was a question there, the letter from Steve, and I didn't find it. I think that's a good assumption, but I can't verify that.
Okay. I guess the other thing, and not to put anybody in the spot, because I don't know, I thought, do we know what the assessed valuation of the property is?
I don't have that with me. I mean, we've got that number, but I don't have
This will go on the taxes?
it. Correct.
Goes on a tax.
What's the assessed valuation, 10,000?
I'm pretty sure it's more than that, but
It'll be, all that will be there will be, all that it will be is lot. The property that, the real property that was on it was burned and been removed. So I don't believe it,
Unless it's a
it
big
could be
parcel.
that it may not sell for, what's been put into it, because we have other expenses besides this. But this is an example of the state creating their own conundrum. They have a situation where a piece of property is considered to be hazard, and nobody, they say they can't enter it to inspect it, and therefore the building is declared to be an asbestos site. There may not be any asbestos in that debris, but it's treated that way.
I mean, the town will be made whole. Whether the county will be able to sell the property in a timely manner and recover all their costs, we don't know.
Yeah.
It is, I believe it's a fairly good-sized lot. It's in a developed community.
But the
it has
state,
desire.
but again, the state creates a set of laws that imposes this on a municipality. And the municipality, in many instances, the county is the ultimate scapegoat on this thing.
That is correct.
What's the assessment value on this?
We don't know. Mark is saying
know.
it's a lot.
It'll be a lot, so they'll have to be. I don't know
County
about
real
stuff
property.
for it.
All it'll be is a lot. It hasn't been reassessed.
Well, it'll be an improved lot
It's not a
because-
big lot yet. There's building on the property.
yeah.
It'll be an improved lot because it will have utilities. There'll be water there. I don't know if there's public
Yeah.
sewer in that area. Electricity will already have been, run to the
Yeah.
house. I don't know if it's buried or not. I think that area is underground utilities. So it does have value.
It burned before the tax roll is closed this year. Before the assessment roll is closed this year.
I don't know anything about the assessment on it, but what will be left is a lot. We'll get
Yeah,
that from
you got
Brian.
it.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Martin Bennett,
Yes.
Michael Cash,
Yes.
Art Vincent,
Yes.
Ernie Bass.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 280, the demolition of property at 310 Stafford Road, award to KAS.
Whereas the town board has received a written unsafe building report from Stephen Imhoff, code enforcement official, concerning the property at 310 Stafford Road. Whereas a bid was issued for demolition of the property at 310 Stafford Road, and work was started, but compliance issued for a stop work order. Whereas Mr. Imhoff, code enforcement officer, has obtained formal written quotes and have been reviewed for demolition of said property that complies with all federal and state laws concerning public safety. Now therefore be resolved after review of all quotes for demolition of the property, the town awards the project to KAS Incorporated, 368 Avenue D, Suite 16, Post Office Box 786, Williston, Vermont 05495, for the amount not to exceed $4,385 as total price as noted by the bid. And to be further resolved, the supervisor hereby authorized to sign all related documents relative to the award of such contract, subject to review and approval by the town attorney and the town insurance provider. And be further resolved that a copy of this resolution will be given to the finance manager and code officer.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Rennet, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix. And this one, based on Mr. Imhoff's letter, is the low bid as well. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Mark Mannix?
Yes.
Michael
Yes.
Callahan? George Rennet?
Yes.
Yes, resolution carries. I believe that's all that I have in my packet as items. I'm going to start the agreement, the Mason Lane agreement, over with Mr. Renedek. If you would sign it, please. I've got tabs in 3 areas. I believe that's all we have. And we'll work that through. We sign on the top half. With that said, while that's going on, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Renedek, and a second on that.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion? Roll call.
Mark Mannix?
Yes.
Michael Callahan?
Yes.
George Rennet?
Yes.
Ernie Bass.
Yes, we stand adjourned at 7:33.